Hello everyone, it's Red Baron here, and this video is going to be a wholeness ability guide for Magicka. I'm going to do my best to show you guys some good examples of what you should do. I am Corporea, but it's important for you guys to see where you should be at, what you should be moving forward to if you're Magicka as well. So let's dive right in. So we're going to start with where you should be at in voidbreak late. So Coco here is a good example of what you should be aiming for. So we are using double shield. Instead of dragon taming, you probably would actually want to use Windwalker. So Windwalker, dragon taming water for double shield. And then you do want to use Blizzard, and you want to use Phantasm, and then 2 Tinnitrus. It can be Tinnitrus Wood, Tinnitrus, or in this case, it's Tinnitrus Metal and Tinnitrus Wood. With advancements, if I click on these, you should be able to see. So we're going +5 advancements on these. That way you're getting those damage bonuses. It looks like Coco has done that. And then on Phantasm, working on +5, it looks like. So starting from those abilities, you are able to, once you get into Wholeness, unlock Godslayer, all 3 abilities, and you're able to work on Shimmer. So let's look at these abilities and see which ones are going to be best for Magicka. The first one you're going to unlock is Godslayer. It is primarily a debuff, so it's going to do a little bit of 2 times damage. It has a debuff as poison, which is going to reduce magical skill HP. It provides a slow. So this one isn't going to be crazy important, but you do need to invest into it a little bit because we're going to want to go for Godslayer Fire. If we look at Godslayer Fire, we get Divinity, which gives us ability damage to Taoists plus 10%. It has a good 2 times attack on the M damage there. You are able to increase Divinity's duration to 5 seconds, which is huge. So your abilities are going to be doing an additional 10% damage for 5 seconds at level 20. You get more M damage, and then it also provides Blind, which is going to pretty much cause your opponent's next attacks for 2 seconds to miss, dealing no damage. After Godslayer Fire, you're going to want to work on Shimmer, and that is because it has Devastation, and Devastation is going to cause a debuff to your opponent, decreasing crit resistance. It is going to remove a random buff from your opponent, give you additional M damage, and then also has Silence, which prevents casting for 2 seconds. So if you're putting these 2 skills back to back, you're going to have almost 4 seconds of time in which your opponent is going to be doing no damage to you, which is pretty big, especially in duels. When looking at abilities to use, it needs to be broken up into that 6,000 law divider again. So before you reach 6,000 and unlock Shimmer Fire and Shimmer Earth, it's going to look a little different. So there's 2 options that you can take. You can go 1 shield or 2 shield. If you go 1 shield, I would stick with Dragon Taming Water. Then you're going to be using Godslayer Fire as AoE, Shimmer for single target DPS, and you'll keep Tinnitrus Metal because that's going to be giving you your CC with Paralysis. And then you'll keep 2 Mortal World abilities. That's going to be Blizzard for another AoE and Phantasm for more single target DPS. Phantasm actually has, I believe, the highest damage percent that you can get once it's at 100. So you'll keep these 2. You will keep Dragon Taming Water. You'll keep Tinnitrus Metal, and then you're going to replace Tinnitrus and one of your shields with Godslayer Fire and Shimmer. If you go the 2 shield route, keep Windwalker and Dragon Taming Water. Still add Godslayer Fire. That's going to replace Blizzard because it is your new, stronger AoE. It's going to be giving all of those buffs to you and that debuff of blind to your opponent. Then you'll add Shimmer, keep the CC to Nitrous Metal, and then you're going to be using Phantasm for more DPS. Once you hit 6,000 laws, you're able to start investing into Vitalis Law, and that will allow you to unlock Shimmer Earth and Shimmer Fire. So these are two new abilities that you can add to your ability bar that we didn't have previously. I would recommend using Shimmer Earth because you get Illusion, and that's going to allow you to have a 50% chance of ignoring ability attacks for 3 seconds. It's going to be pretty good. And then Curse is going to cause them to not be able to buff up for 3 seconds. And overall, it's just a very strong skill. So I would recommend adding Shimmer Earth. And you would need to replace either one of your Mortal World abilities, like Blizzard. Blizzard has a lower percent damage compared to Phantasm, or you could replace to Nitrous Metal and just get rid of that 3 second CC. That's going to be a decision that you'll just need to make on your own. Either of those options is okay to replace and add Shimmer Earth. And then we have Shimmer Fire, which is also an AoE. It gives you crit with Perception, a little bit of M damage. The other skills aren't going to be too fantastic. So this is one that you can pick up if you want to get rid of those Mortal World skills. So you would just replace your Mortal World skills with Shimmer Fire and Shimmer Earth if you want to. Or if you don't really think this one's as beneficial, you can just ignore it and keep Phantasm over Blizzard. The only issue with that is a decrease in AoE. So a lot of Magicka users are used to having a lot of AoE. So that's something else you'll want to think about whenever you're deciding which of these two abilities between Blizzard and Phantasm that you want to drop. So Phantasm will just do more damage, but Blizzard will hit more opponents. So you'll just have to weigh your options there and decide that for yourself. Here's an example ability casting order for PvP for Xerus. Xerus has just hopped over to our server S56. He is a very strong Magicka player. This is an older image, but you can see what he's running here. So for PvP, he's only using 3 shield just because he deals so much damage and has so much HP and MP. We're going with AoE for pets, the Myriad to go ahead and start breaking shields and increase damage. Then AoE Godslayer Fire, still using to Nitrous Metal. That's going to be helping CC. Using AoE Active Curio, going in with high damage Phantasm, AoE Monster Parade, the Banner for debuff, and then goes in order of highest damage Curios and Relics at the end. And this is Bob's ability casting order for PvP just for comparison. Still using 3 shield. Then we are going to throw in 2 AoEs to knock out those pets, or if there's other opponents around, especially whenever you're doing open world PvP, it's going to help take out more enemies. Throw in the array for the extra damage and the shield breakthroughs. Control CC to Nitrous Metal, AoE Twin Phoenixes, more AoE with Godslayer Fire Blizzard, using Shimmer, and then following all that up with high damage Curio and then Relics. For PvE, it looks a little different, where he's running 1 shield. If you're wanting to go max damage, you could actually remove all shields. AoE to Nitrous and Blizzard, going to be hitting the monsters with Demon Spire for that increased monster damage. Godslayer Water AoE, then those active Curio AoEs, high damage single target phantasm. Zeros had shared with us a image of him hitting 3 billion, 4 billion, 5 billion with his hits with phantasm. So very high damage skill. That's going to be very helpful later on, even into Wholeness. We have Godslayer Fire, another AoE, the Tonitrus Metal for the CC, AoE Monster Parade array at the end, followed by all of those relics. And that's going to be it for the Wholeness Magicka ability guide. Hopefully that was helpful for all of you guys. I didn't really go into depth on some of the whale skills. It's kind of the best practice for free to play in this video. Hopefully it helps all of you guys out. Make sure you continue liking the videos and continue subscribing to the channel. Appreciate all of your guys' support. Thanks.